let me take you somewhere quiet. I want to show you something. Trust me. I always trust you, she said. Those words were the rope. The sixth night dragged like a heavy chain. Chief Roland came to Joshua in a dream again. This time his eyes glowed like coals. Do not play with spirits. The 7 nights are counting. Bring the heart, or the ground will drink yours. Joshua woke shaking. Faith stirred. Are you okay? Just a dream, he said. She poured him water. He stared at her hand, at her kind face, at the girl who had carried him for years. You are good to me, he whispered. And you will be good to me too, she replied, smiling. Her trust was a soft blanket around a sharp knife. That evening, Faith knelt by the bed to pray. Father, thank you for life. If there is danger I cannot see, open my eyes. Guide us. Joshua faced the wall. Tears came, but they did not wash away his decision. Friday came like a drum you cannot silence. Morning walked into afternoon. Afternoon tiptoed into evening. Joshua wore a plain shirt. He looked into the mirror and did not know the man in it. Faith wore a simple gown. She packed her hair. She smiled shyly. You said there's a surprise? Yes, he said. His voice shook. He cleared his throat. A quiet place. You'll like it. We can talk about our future. Future, she repeated, the word small and gentle in her mouth. She took his hand. Let's go. They passed the woman who sold roasted corn. They passed the tailor's sleeping mannequin. They passed a small church with a blue door. A bell rang inside the church, soft and clear. Can we go in and pray? Faith asked. Another time, Joshua said quickly. We will be late. They left the houses and reached the path lined with tall grasses. Crickets sang. The moon was thin like a silver slice. A dog barked once far away and stopped. Faith's heart fluttered. Where are we going? Just ahead, he said. They stood before a low gate. He knocked 3 times, slow. The gate opened itself, as if the night had hands. Faith's fingers tightened around his. Joshua, she whispered, what place is this? Just quiet, he said. Trust me. She followed him inside because her heart had been trained to follow his voice. The lantern waited. The chalk lines waited. The old man waited. The air smelled of leaves and gin. Chief Roland lifted his face. Welcome, daughter. Faith swallowed. Good evening. She looked at Joshua. His eyes ran away from hers. Something inside her shook. Chief drew a circle around the lantern, poured gin on the ground, and faced Joshua. Son of dust, the 7th night has come. Does your word still stand? Joshua's lips trembled. The ground felt close to his ears. Yes, he said, and the word sounded like a small cry. Faith's hand slipped out of his. Joshua, what word? Silence. Daughter, Chief said softly, what do you carry? My bag, she said. She opened it with shaky hands. Face towel. Blue purse. And a tiny Bible her mother had given her long ago. She had picked it at the last minute when the church bell rang. She held it to her chest. The lantern flame rose a little, as if it saw the book. Desmond hissed in a corner. Chief's eyes narrowed, then softened. Daughter, he asked, did you walk here by fear or by trust? By trust, Faith whispered, tears in her eyes. Then this door belongs to trust, he said. He drew a fresh line of chalk on the ground between her and the lantern, like a small river. Son of dust, Chief told Joshua, bring the one who trusts you. Place her hand over the calabash. The brown calabash sat by the lantern, full of black water that swallowed light. Joshua reached for it, but his fingers shook. Joshua, talk to me, Faith begged. What are we doing here? It will be quick, he whispered. After this, our life will change. Our life. Her voice was soft but heavy. Chief's calm cracked a little. Truth is needed. Joshua looked at Desmond. He looked at Chief. Then he faced Faith, the mirror of what he had become. Faith, he said, and the truth broke out of him, I brought you for a bad thing. The knight inhaled. The lantern bowed and rose. Faith did not scream. She looked at him with a heart louder than a shout. You brought me to harm. You, whom I trusted. Chief turned to her. What do your feet say? My feet say no, she replied, stepping back across the new chalk line. The lantern flame lifted high. The chalk circle cracked. The black water trembled and fell still. Chief closed his eyes. It is finished for tonight. The door will not open for a heart that does not agree. Take her home. Desmond jumped. What? Chief. Force her, Chief said flatly, and the fire will choose its own bed. He faced Joshua. You have poured sand into your own gharry. If you try again, the ground will choose for you. Faith turned toward the gate. It swung open before she touched it. She stepped into the cool night air, clutching her little Bible like a float. And the 7th night ended, not with gold, but with a broken plan and a truth that refused to die. Faith did not go home with Joshua that night. She walked to the small church with the blue door and sat on a wooden pew. The room was quiet. A single bulb glowed like a tiny moon. She held her little Bible and cried without noise. Her chest felt like a calabash with a crack, still holding, but hurting. God, she whispered, thank you for opening my eyes. Please keep me safe. Please also help Joshua. He is lost. The pastor, a gentleman with white hair, saw her and came close. My daughter, do you need water? She nodded. He gave her a cup and did not ask many questions. Rest here tonight if you want, he said. Some nights are heavy. But morning always comes. Faith rested on the pew. Even with tears drying on her cheeks, she felt a calm hand on her heart. It was not a human hand. It was the unseen hand that had followed her since the bell rang the first time. Joshua walked alone under the streetlight. The light made a bright circle on the ground, but inside him was dark. He reached the room and sat on the floor. He covered his face with both hands. What have I done? He whispered. He remembered Faith's voice, my feet say no. He remembered Chief Rowland's eyes, if you try again, the ground will choose for you. He remembered Desmond's hiss, like a snake. He remembered the chalk cracking, the lantern rising, the black water trembling. His heart jumped like a fish out of water. He did not sleep. When morning came, his eyes were red and dry. He washed his face and paced the room. He wanted to run to the church. He wanted to kneel before Faith and beg. But shame tied his feet. Fear tied his mouth. A hard knock hit the door. He opened it. Desmond pushed inside, angry and sharp. You spoiled everything, Desmond said. Do you think spirits are like children you can trick? Chief is not happy. The night is not happy. Your shadow is marked. What should I do? Joshua asked, voice shaking. Bring her again, Desmond snapped. Beg her. Buy gifts. Tell sweet stories. Once she steps over the line by herself, the door will open. You heard, Chief, no force. But there are other ways. She knows, Joshua said. She will never follow me again. Desmond's eyes turned cold. Then the ground will collect from you, he said. And when it starts, don't call my name. He slammed the door and left. Silence filled the room like smoke. That afternoon, Faith returned to the house with Precious. They came to pick Faith's clothes and her pot for work. Faith's hands shook as she folded her wrapper. She looked around the room where she had cooked many meals and said softly, "Thank you, God, for saving me." Precious touched her shoulder. "We will go now. Don't look back." The door opened. Joshua stood there. He had not bathed. His shirt was wrinkled. His eyes were heavy, like stones in water. "Faith," he said, voice small, "I am sorry." Precious stepped between them. "Keep your sorry," she said. "We are leaving." Faith looked at him. Her eyes were gentle but firm. "I forgive you, Joshua. But I cannot come back. Trust is like glass. When it breaks, you can glue it, but the crack will still show. I will pray for you from far." She lifted her bag. Precious carried the pot. They walked out. Joshua did not stop them. He could not. His legs were weak. When the door closed, he sank to the floor again. A sound rose from his chest. It was not a shout. It was not a cry. It was the sound of a dream falling apart. Night came early, like a curtain. Joshua lay on the bed and stared at the ceiling. He felt hot and cold at the same time. He heard the generator outside, but the sound now felt like a warning drum. He slept and dreamed. In the dream, he stood in a wide field. A door stood in the middle of the field. It was tall and black. It had no handle. He heard Chief Roland's voice, slow and thick like palm oil. "Every door has a price. When you cannot pay, the door takes from you." The door opened by itself. Wind rushed out of it. The wind did not feel like air. It felt like hands. It pushed him backward. He tried to run. His legs were heavy. He fell. He woke with a shout, heart racing. From that night, trouble began to knock like a stubborn visitor. He began to cough. At first it was light, then deep. He felt tired even when he did nothing. He would stand and his knees would shake. He would lie down and his heart would run. He ate but tasted nothing. Neighbors whispered, "What is happening to Joshua? He looks as if the ground is eating him." Maybe he put his hand where it should not be. Desmond came again. His voice was not loud now. It was urgent. "Chief says the window is closing," he said. "If you don't bring her, your shadow will pay. Tonight is your last chance." "I can't," Joshua whispered. "She will not come." "Then you are finished," Desmond said slowly. He looked at Joshua as if he was already a ghost. "When it starts, don't call my name," he repeated, and left. Joshua sat very still. He remembered Faith's prayer voice. He remembered her tiny Bible. He remembered the bell ringing 3 times. He felt small and empty. He did not even have tears left. He whispered into the thin air, "God, if you can still hear me, help me. I was greedy. I was foolish. I wanted the world to clap. I almost destroyed the only person who truly loved me. Please, if there is a tiny road back, show me." The room did not answer. But far away, a church bell rang once, gentle as a hand on a child's head. That evening, the pastor stopped by with Faith's forgotten scarf. He found Joshua sitting outside, weak and quiet. "Good evening," the pastor said. "Good evening, sir," Joshua replied, voice thin. The pastor looked into his eyes and saw a young man who had walked too close to fire. "My son," he said, "sometimes the road we pick is sweet at the start and bitter at the end. Sometimes the road we avoid is hard at the start and sweet at the end." "I have done a terrible thing," Joshua said. "I cannot fix it." "You cannot fix a broken egg," the pastor answered, "but you can learn not to drop another. Go and make your heart straight. Say the truth to God. Return anything that is not yours. Cut off any hand that pulls you into darkness, even if that hand used to be your own. The pastor placed the scarf on the chair and went his way. For the first time, Joshua did something strong. He went to his shelf, took Desmond's number, and tore the paper into small pieces. He threw it away. He poured the last gin down the sink. He opened the window and let the night air in. It smelled like wet earth and a new chance. He lay down and slept the sleep of a tired child. But the world is round, and choices have shadows. In the middle of the night, thunder cracked though the sky had no clouds. The bulb blinked and went dark. A deep wind moved through the room. The curtain swelled like a chest taking breath. Joshua's eyes flew open. He could not sit up. It felt like a heavy hand pressed him to the bed. He tried to shout, but his voice hid. The wind circled him, cold and strong. He remembered Chief's words, "Half ritual is worse than no ritual." "I am sorry," he whispered. "God, I am sorry. Faith, forgive me. I am sorry." The wind slowed. The pressure lightened. The curtain fell flat. The bulb blinked once and stayed on. He sat up shaking, tears finally finding his face. He did not die that night. But a lesson marked him, the way hot iron marks would. Morning came quiet and gold. Joshua washed his face and changed his shirt. He walked to the Blue Door Church. He did not plan what to say. He only knew he needed to stand where truth lives. Faith was sweeping the front step. She saw him and paused. He stood far, not wanting to step on her peace. "I didn't come to beg you to return," he said softly. "I came to return myself to sense. I was greedy. I was blind. Thank you for saying no. Your no saved my life." Faith's eyes softened. "I forgive you," she said. "But my path is different now." "I know," he replied. "Walk well. May God bless your work. And may He guide your feet," she said. The pastor opened the door. He saw them and smiled a quiet smile. "Both of you," he said, "there is room here for prayer." They prayed, each for a clean heart, each for a clearer road. When they finished, the morning felt larger. Weeks passed. Faith moved into a small room close to her customers. She worked hard and grew her catering business. People loved her food and her gentle spirit. She saved money. She laughed again. The crack in her heart healed slowly, like a careful stitch. Joshua found small jobs carrying goods for traders. It was not the rich life he had dreamed of, but it was honest. He woke early, sweated under the sun, and slept tired but clean. Sometimes he felt shame wash him like rain. He did not hide from it. He let it wash him and pass. One afternoon, he walked by a mirror in a shop and almost did not know the man he saw. His eyes were steadier. His back was straighter. He was not rich, but he was becoming real. He remembered Chief Roland. He remembered the chalk. He remembered the black water. He never went back there. He never called Desmond. He learned a new prayer: "Keep me on the slow, safe road." The moral: greed is a fire that looks warm and ends up burning the house. Trust is a bridge, do not turn it into a trap. The heart that says no to danger is not weak, it is wise. Quick money promises loud applause, but honest work gives quiet peace that lasts through the night. Faith kept her life because she listened to the small bell in her spirit. Joshua kept his life because truth caught him before he fell too far. The unseen hand that guards the simple and the sincere did its work. And in the end, the door that truly opened was not the door to sudden riches. It was the door to sense, to safety, and to a better tomorrow, one careful step at a time.